Hello, everyone, and happy Friday to all of you, wherever you are in the world. I'm coming on after a brief hiatus to do a Friday teaching. So, if you're tuning into the replay or the recording of this video, please let me know in the comments below that you caught this. Feel free to share your questions, insights, breakthroughs, comments with me in the comments section below. I always look forward to hearing back from you and seeing how what I taught you helped you in some kind of way, okay? If you're tuning in for the very first time and you don't know who I am, my name is Stef, and I'm a psychic business empowerment coach. What I do is I help people to manifest whatever they want in their personal lives as well as their businesses. And I do this through teaching my clients how to understand how their limiting beliefs, fears, and unresolved emotional issues are keeping them from being able to receive their desires, and how to release those things in order for them to then bring themselves into alignment or become a match for what they want, so that they can then receive that and create that in their lives or manifest that. So that's how I help people. Every Friday, I do my best to come on here and do a Friday teaching. And I have not been able to the last couple of weeks or so due to the fact that my furry animal companion passed away, and I had to grieve and process that. And also with moving around, being location independent, sometimes it doesn't work out with travel schedules and those kinds of things, activities. So I've been trying to do these videos live. I am not sure if I will be able to do them live moving forward due to traveling and things like that. I believe it will be a combination of doing them live when I know I can do them live, and if I know in advance I cannot do them live, then I will pre-record them and upload them to the channel, so that way I can consistently show up on Fridays when I'm needed. So that's my spiel right there on that situation. And today I was asked to speak on how what you want wants you to. Okay. So if you're tuning in live, please say hello. If you have any questions, let me know. So let's get into this video. Okay. What you want wants you to. What this means is that we all have desires. Okay. Desires are things that we want, that oftentimes are really deeply meaningful to us. We really desire them. And so our desires can come in the form of wanting that dream relationship, that perfect relationship, or wanting a loving and supportive family, or a functional kind of family, or wanting better health, or wanting a fitter body, wanting that dream job, or wanting that dream career, or that dream income, wanting certain experiences in life or certain material possessions, or realizing certain dreams that are important to us. So we all have these desires, and it's normal and natural to have these desires, because part of the reason for us being here on earth is to create. We are here to explore what powerful creators we are. It's one of our purposes here. And so it's kind of impossible to come here on earth and to observe everything that we're observing all around us and to not be inspired or have that desire within us to create something because of what we're witnessing. Okay, it's nearly impossible to do that. So we all have these deep desires. Now, whatever we deeply desire, whatever is something so deeply important to us in our heart that we're like, oh, I would really want that. I really would love to have that experience, or that thing, or that means so much to me. These deep desires that we have especially are intended for us to create. We're kind of, in a way, destined to create these things or to realize these things in our lifetime. And so the reason for that is because, as I said, part of the reason why we're here is to create. And so when you feel inspired, especially when you feel this deep calling to create something, that usually comes from deeper inner guidance, that comes from your higher self, your higher being, your inner being, whatever you want to call the spiritual aspect of you. And so that deep inner knowing, like, oh, this is what I'm meant to have. This is what I know I want to create. I desire this strongly. that oftentimes comes from that higher wisdom. And so when it comes from that higher wisdom, quite often that's because you're destined to create this. You have all the possibility to be able to create this, okay? The minute that you start desiring something, that's you receiving that wisdom from who you truly are, the spiritual version of yourself, your higher self, that this is what is in your future or potentially in your future, okay? And I say potentially because there are certain factors involved with that, but it has a potential to come into your life, into your reality, into your future. And so when you desire this, you're receiving this download or this wisdom from this inner version of yourself, the spiritual version of yourself that says, yes, you have all this possibility to create this. But then when you desire it in that moment energetically, what happens is you ripple out, you send this ripple kind of effect out into the universe of your desire, and it starts being created instantly in the form of energy, and it starts kind of making its way to you. It starts moving in your direction, okay? It's like a magnet, you put out this desire, and then, when you put two magnets together and they're close enough, it's like they're being pulled to one another and they're like getting stronger and stronger, and then they come together. That's kind of what it is like you send out the signal, like this is what I want, and then your desire energetically starts trying to make its way to you, and then it keeps coming to you and coming to you and coming to you and wanting to come into your life and being realized, okay? However, to receive your desire, to receive whatever it is that you want, you must come into alignment with it, because we live in an energetic world where everything is energy. And so our desires hold a certain kind of energy. And in order for us to receive that energy in the form of that dream relationship, that dream job, that dream income, that dream vacation, whatever it is, in order for us to receive that, we must then become energetically matched to our desire. We must then elevate our own energy so that it's a match for those things, okay? And so coming into this alignment, becoming this match, is really like, it's like you can want something all you want, and you can put out this request to the universe saying, hey, I want this, I don't know. Let's just think of something material right now for the moment. I want this new piece of technology. Boom, you put it out into the universe. It starts making its way to you. And let's pretend that it arrives in a package on your doorstep and you are inside of your home. Well, the way for you to receive that desire that you want that package is by opening the door and bringing the package in, or letting the package come in, right? But in order to do that, you need to have the key that opens the door. And that's what alignment does for you, is that when you bring yourself into alignment, it's like the key that opens the door so that what you desire can come into your life and you can receive it, okay? Otherwise, you can desire something so strongly all you want, but are not aligned that desire fully, and there's certain resistance or misalignment there, then it's like the. So coming into alignment, this is what securities, the resistance that you have, that cars and ambulances outside don't knock in the door. You need to realize in order to come into your desires are not showing up in your life. Experience the power and the elevated consciousness that comes through shifting your limiting beliefs, your fears, your insecurities, and so on, that then give way to you able to shift your outward reality as a result of shifting all that inner stuff, which then allows for the physical manifestations of your desires. Okay, does that make sense? So it's not like you have to do more in order to receive those things. You're worthy of those things now. You can receive those things, but to allow yourself to receive them, you yourself to undergo this process of spirituality. Part of in this human existence in the past is we came here to be creators. how we created in the past was through our physical means, was through moving our bodies and with our hands making things happen. However, we are shifting from that old way of doing things into this newer, more elevated way of doing things. We're shifting spiritually, we're shifting back into our truth. And so it's a different way of doing things than we have been previously doing them. And so this requires a certain level of soul evolution and expansion. And so to receive your desires, your soul is all about your growth. Your soul is all about, having greater understandings. Your soul is all about expansion. And so if you were to just receive the desire that you wanted without having to shift any beliefs, release any emotions, let go of any insecurities, if you were just to receive that thing that you wanted, whether that's the dream relationship, the new car, whatever it is, then you wouldn't really grow in the way in which you have the potential to grow and in the way in which your soul desires for you to grow. However, when you decide to do your part to shift whatever inner stuff you have going on that is keeping you from being in alignment with what you desire, and you let go of those limiting beliefs and those fears and those insecurities and those emotions and all those things, and you let that go, and then you bring yourself into alignment with what you desire, and you allow yourself to expand on so many different levels through releasing those things. When you receive what you want, it's like your soul's like, yes, like I'm getting what I want, and you're getting what you want. But you did it because you were willing to let go of what wasn't serving you, like expand your awareness, to expand your consciousness, and so on. And it's more satisfying for your soul in that way to create in the physical. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying that, because sometimes this gets a little bit tricky with some people. Sometimes we can fall back into victim mentality, or we can think that like, oh, my soul or my higher self or whatever is holding out on me and doesn't want to give me what I want unless I do X, Y, and Z, and that's fair, and I don't think that's right, and da da da. And it kind of sometimes can feel like you're being punished, or someone's being mean to you and not wanting to be generous with you, and it's not that at all. It's just that your soul, your higher self, first and foremost, is here to support you with your spiritual evolution. And the material stuff is just a bonus to that. And so your higher self is way more interested in you evolving on all these different levels, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, energetically, and so on, than the we're going through. And so your desires, they're wanting to come into your life. When you put them out there, the universe is already working in your favor to try to bring them to you. But again, you need to understand that you are the only one keeping you locked in and unable to receive that desire that is on your doorstep. And in order for you to understand that you're locking yourself in, you need to go through this process of processing your limiting beliefs, your fears, your emotions, your insecurities, and letting them go in order to then free yourself, and then, get the key to that door, open it up, and allow for your desires to start coming in. And when you can see those desires coming in as a result of you being willing to shift things inside of yourself, then it's deeply, deeply satisfying to your higher self, to even yourself on a human level, because you can start recognizing, wow, I shifted internally, and those internal shifts resulted in me shifting these things in my external or outward reality, which then allowed for me to receive these desires that I've been wanting for so long. Does that make sense? So this is what they wanted me to share with you all today, is that, whatever it is that you desire, it wants you to, it wants to come into your life, it wants to be experienced by you. Your higher self wants you to receive these things, but it's kind of like, it feels like a bonus or a kind of secondary benefit to all of this inner shifting that you're doing. Okay, that's how I like to see it. And what else? And that it's really about you undergoing the process of experiencing higher levels of yourself, through releasing all of those fears and limiting beliefs and insecurities that you may have that are keeping you small and not as abundant, not as fulfilled, not as joyful. And as you undo these chains or undo these restraints that you have you get to expand, and by expanding you get to receive those things that you've desired for so long. And it's just really about a process of freeing yourself. I think that's it. There were like a bunch of ambulances and fire trucks and things happening in this video. Important message for everyone who's watching. You're not here for a coincidence, or by coincidence. So, oh my God, this label on this water is so jacked up. So that's what they wanted me to share with all of you today, is to, just really reaffirm and remind you all that it's really about you. It's really about you showing up for yourself. It's really about you understanding that nothing is being held back from you. Nothing is being, held back from you. It's really just about you understanding you're holding yourself back from what you want. And until you do your part to address all those reasons why you're holding yourself, apart from what you desire, and you work through them or you clear them, you're going to continue to be in that state of depriving yourself of your deep desires. But once you do decide to step into your power, to assume personal responsibility over that, and you choose to shift the things that you need to shift inside of you, then you'll get what you want, and you'll understand that you had the keys to the door all along, right? That your desires were there for you all along, and all you needed to do was just unlock the door. And that's basically what the message of today's video is, okay? An example I want to give to all of you of this is, I felt pulled while I was channeling this earlier. I believe the thing was, I have been wanting to make a greater impact. I have been wanting to reach more people and, do what I came here to do in this world. And so one of those things for me was really being able to powerfully serve people that I consider powerful, admirable leaders in my industry, or in, this coaching industry. And I wanted that very deeply. I was really ready for that. And what ended up happening for me was what I wanted showed up on my doorstep. And so how this showed up for me is that it presented itself in the form of an opportunity for me to develop even more powerfully my psychic abilities and my abilities as a psychic coach. And that's what I'm talking about sometimes when we desire something so strongly, we will start having these things show up for us, kind of redirecting us to what we desire, redirecting us to what we truly want in the end. And so for me, I desire to create this huge impact, but I need to take certain steps along the way to get to that. And so how that looked for me was, well, the next step right now to make this huge impact I want is developing myself on this level to make an even greater impact. And so this opportunity to be a part of this psychic development coaching program showed up for me, and it found me. Okay, so maybe this huge impact that I am searching for, that I deeply desire, it didn't show up in the form of like a huge book deal or being published in a huge magazine like Forbes or whatever it is. It didn't show up in that way to make the impact that I wanted. It showed up as this opportunity to prepare myself for the things that I want to do, which is that impact, right? And so in order for me, though, to step into that program, I had a lot of resistance to this initially, because of conflicting things with my own spirituality the last 7-8 months of this year. And I had initial resistance to that and all that stuff. But once I did my part to clear the fears, the insecurities, the resistance, whatever it was, towards the program, and I let that go, I was able to really allow myself to lean into what I truly desired, which was my impact. And I was like, okay, is this program going to help me or support me in creating that impact that I desire in the long run? And I immediately felt in myself like, yes, this is what you need to do. And so that's when I stepped into that. But I had to clear all of that inner stuff first, do my part to bring myself into alignment, and then take those action steps forward. And all of these things that I'm doing now are going to ultimately lead to that impact that I'm talking about. Does that make sense? So it's your job anytime you want something deeply to clear whatever resistance that you have. So you might say, hey, I want my dream relationship. Cool. But if you notice that you are constantly being negative about relationships, you get sad or jealous when you see people being loving to each other in relationships, or you feel like there are no good people out there for you, and you can notice this resistance and stuff, then that's the very stuff you need to clear and process inside of yourself to bring yourself into alignment with the relationship that you desire. It's always, because so long as you continue to be jealous of people in their relationships or think there's no one good out there or whatever it is, you're never going to allow yourself to come into alignment with that relationship you desire. So it's always about you choosing to free yourself and doing your part to release whatever you got to release that's keeping you out of alignment with your desires. So I really hope that that has helped you. If this video has helped you in some kind of way, give this video a like, a thumbs up wherever you're watching from. If you enjoy these teachings, definitely make sure that you have subscribed to my channel by hitting the button below. There's also a bell button there that you can click on to be notified whenever I do a new video. I think I'm gonna sneeze. And yeah, drop me a comment below letting me know how this video supported you. If you have any questions, comments, insights, I always look forward to hearing from all of you. And I will be seeing you in the next video. As I said, next Friday, the video might be live or it might be pre-recorded. I'm still trying to see what I can do to make sure I'm consistent with these teachings. But thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate all of you today. If you want to stay in touch with me, you're more than welcome to check out my social media links in the description of this video to find me on Instagram, Facebook. I also have a Facebook group that you can be a part of if it speaks to you and you want to be part of a free, loving community. And that's basically it. So I send you all so much love. Thank you so much for your time. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.